Now it's time for us to take a little trip. Put your hands up in the air, sweetie. We are about to go into the past. It's time for the time machine. Whoa! Whoa! Oh, Gigi, look, here we are. We're in Woodstock, Illinois.
Oh, God.
And look, there's little Sam running
Where?
through the
Where is
fields. He's turning it.
I can't see him.
Now, Gigi, what were you like as a kid? Oh, wait a minute, look at that. Look, there you are. And you were still giving a little off-the-shoulder moment.
Yes, of course.
Those shoulders are
the
still
parallels, honey. My childhood was, it was really good, and I had a lot of support from my mom and my brothers. My dad's a different story, but irrelevant. I just was lucky to be able to live in the skin that I was in and never be questioned about it. I never had to wonder whether I was dressed as a girl or a boy. I never had to wonder whether I could bring my dolls to school or stuff like that. It was just something my mom her main goal was that her children are happy, which if you are a parent out there, that should be your main goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that obviously, your mom, we've heard a lot about your mom.
Yeah.
Because she's your creative collaborator for all the Drag Race looks. And seems like she obviously fostered a wonderful environment for you to be as creative as you could. What was your favorite game to play as little Sam back in the day?
I mean, the first and only movie I ever watched as a kid was Wizard of Oz. So any character I got to be, preferably the female ones, was playtime for me. I remember I had this little black and silver metallic cape that, instantly you put it on, you're the Wicked Witch of the West, and it would just be running through the halls back and forth. I think that's just the biggest memory I have is always related to the Wizard of Oz.
You could serve it as Dorothy, you could serve it as the witch.
Sometimes Toto.
Right, get a little tin foil, and sweetie, you are the Tin Woman.
Yes.
Now, you did theater as a kid, right? Because your mom worked in the children's theater doing costumes.
Yeah.
Now, is it true that she used to bribe you with American Girl dolls to perform?
That is 100% true.
Tell me about that.
Well, at first, I really did not want to do theater. It was a real bribe. She was like, you have to do this. Your brothers are away at church camp and you didn't want to do that, so you're gonna sit here, do theater so that she can be at home alone during the mornings. So her incentive was an American Girl doll. And then of course I did it and fell in love with it, but then every year I was like, I can get something out of this. If I pretend I don't want to do it, she'll get me another American Girl doll. So needless to say, I had a few American Girl dolls as a child, but it really it grew and cultivated me into the creative person that I am today. I have so much admiration and gratitude for theater.
What roles were you playing at that point?
My first role was in High School Musical Junior as the Skater Boy number 2.
Skater Boy number 2, a very important role.
Yes, I didn't have any lines in that one. But I did my last year of Children's Summer Theater, which I believe is 8th grade. I was JoJo in the Seussical.
Okay.
And then moved into high school theater where I got to be Gomez and Addams Family, and I think those are my most iconic roles.
This is where we're at with high school theater, Erica. They're doing High School Musical, The Addams Family.
Well, I was doing High School Musical as a 5th grader.
Oh my goodness, Gigi, you were very advanced.
Very advanced.
Honey.
Now, it seemed like, Gigi, on Drag Race, you brought in so many different pop culture references into all your looks, so I'm only able to imagine that as a kid you were really soaking up a lot of different movies, TV shows, and you told me that that's part of from your mom, that she was introducing you to that?
Well, my mom is responsible. You want to know the tea?
I want to know the tea.
Not to pull a plastique or anything, but most of these pop divas I had no knowledge about until I got to college. My mom grew up listening to the Carpenters and Donny Osmond, Aretha Franklin, ELO, all these just not Madonna, not Britney, not Beyonce. I had no idea who those women were until I got to college. And then when I moved here and became friends with the House of Avalon was when the homework really started.
Oh, yeah, sweetie.
Yes, so that is, I feel in a sense that I'm glad that I'm just now really learning about all these pop culture references because it's so fresh to me and it's so exciting and all of that. But I'm so glad that like my roots are with like ABBA and Karen Carpenter, and I just, you know, I hold on to that and those people.
Now, you started drag at 15?
Mm-hmm.
Gigi, you make us all old people feel like we waited way too long to get started. But you always wore makeup and played dress up. We have a little picture, I think, here. Oh my goodness, is that you at 15?
Gosh, yes.
Sweetie, she was giving biological woman even then.
And the tights did not match, honey, not at all.
You were giving an Avril Lavigne realness at that moment.
Iggy Azalea.
Iggy Azalea, of course.
She was my diva at that time.
Amazing.
I was like, for some unknown reason, that's like she's the only person I performed to, and I would like always just wear a long synthetic blonde wig.
Right.
I thought I was giving you the only moment.
Yes.
But I mean, needless to say, there was some growth to be had.
Gigi, looking like the boy that probably robbed you if you didn't this ball.
Bad. I was gonna say Chloe Sevigny.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I love that.
So many different looks.
I will
Chloe
take
Sevigny
that.
definitely pumped that look.
Yeah, for sure.
So, what was the beginning years of drag? It's not like you could perform at clubs. Where were you performing, or were you one of those? Were you Aquarius style, sneaking into the club in your lip?
Oh no, the first time I ever entered a gay nightclub bar was when I was 20 years old and moved to Los Angeles.
Wow.
So I mean, I was born and raised in Chicago, had never gone to a bar down there until I moved here and had to get a booking down there. But for me, like at age 15, it was a small group of really young queens around my age that would throw these shows at substance-free venues that were also indoor rock walls by day. So, took advantage of that during some numbers, don't get me wrong.
I bet you did.
Yeah, so I was lucky to have a venue and an outlet to do this stuff, because you know I was like a bedroom queen for so long, but I didn't have access to a camera for all that time.
Right.
So when I had kind of gotten comfortable with it and was able to get on stage, and I had done theater, so it was just like, to me, it was just the perfect marriage of everything I was good at. I'm very lucky to have been able to do that at such a young age.
Now, was your mom dressing you up even during the Iggy Azalea days? When did that collab start?
During the Iggy Azalea days was when my mom did not know I was doing drag.
Okay.
Yes. So I would sneak away, and inevitably Snapchat happened, and I became friends with my brother on Snapchat. He saw something I was doing, told my parents. That's how they found out.
Wow. And what was that reaction like? Because now, were you out to your parents before that, or was it all in one?
No, I mean, like I've been out since I was outed from the womb.
Right. Okay.
And that's never been, you know, a big issue, but it's different territory than just being gay or than playing dress up in your own house, in your own playroom. And I knew that. And when my mom found out, my dad would have nothing to do with it. Like, he just didn't even want to hear about it, didn't want to know, out of sight, out of mind. My mom found out, and she was very, very offended by it and very taken aback. And she's always put other people before her, so when she heard about it, she was like, how is this any different than doing blackface?
Oh.
She thought that we were putting on, you know, women's clothing to mock women, to make fun of women, and needless to say, it didn't take too long for her to figure out what it really was.
Right.
And when she did, that's when the magic began. And she started making these gorgeous garments for me, and it actually started with this cedar closet that we have in our basement that's just full of 50s dresses.
Right.
So for a long time, like 4 years, I was just strictly 1950s housewife.
Nice.
And I wore yellow gloves with every single outfit. I had a pair of yellow gloves. And it just turned from that into my mom, you know, just starting to make me things, and it all snowballed. And then I went to college, dropped out of college, moved to LA, and she would send me one look a week.
Really? I love that your mom was like, you know what? I like drag now, and sweetie, we're doing this. Look at her.
Absolutely, yes.
You're like, oh, well, I saw that other girl, and Gigi, I want to let you know, you're going to have a way better look than her. Mommy's got it covered.
Yes, yes. I mean, she had no idea what Drag Race was until I auditioned for it. So.
Right, wow. That is fun. So you went to university, you dropped out, you were majoring in art, like visual art, or?
I was art education.
Okay.
And then luckily at my school, they put freshmen into student teach. And usually at most schools, when you're seniors, when you go into the classroom and student teach. So thankfully, they put me in a classroom and I said, no, thank you. And I just decided that was not where I wanted to go. So I changed my major because it was my mom's alma mater, just to stay there. And I was miserable, so I just, dropped out.
And LA, here you came.